sun kind of getting a little
What's your first piece of Isaiah 24? All right, man, I'm start off with this one. Okay, we'll let you grab, not just a precept. Okay, you grab your own. All right, Shalom.
bit.
All right, so we back with another live lesson to the power and spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah. All right, we're going to get started by facing the east. Let's give our praise, honor, and glory
To Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakakwadash.
I be giving our praises to the Most High, whose true name in Hebrew is Yahweh, and the name of his only begotten Son, whose true name in Hebrew will be Yahweh Shah, and the Holy Spirit, who is the Rakakwadash. Double honor to the elders and apostles, and the Holy Spirit, taught us his truth. Honor to the brethren that labor in doing the work, push the gospel, risk their life and freedom to do so. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, to be 1/3 of us Israelites, according to the scriptures, Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians, who will turn it back to the Most High, seeking their salvation, that he have mercy on us and judgment. So we back with another lesson through the power and spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah. And we got a relatively simple lesson here, just updates on things that's been going on in America. You know, how the Lord is breaking this place down. You know, on my end, I got the different pestilence, you know, the stuff that's going on. But, you know, we're going to start off with this precept here. This is Jeremiah 30:8. For it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord of hosts, that I will break his yoke from off thy neck, and will burst thy bonds, and strangers shall serve themselves no more of him. So yeah, we coming to the days that the Lord is going to break this yoke from off our neck. It's either the first or second book of Maccabees. It speaks about the yoke of the heathen, and that's being subject to payments, taxes, tribute, bondage, etc. So the Lord gonna break these bonds and break these yokes that we under. You know, put us up out of this captivity. And that's gonna be accomplished by the Lord breaking this place down. Like for example, one of the main things that we yoke to would be the money system. So let me pass it over to Cuz.
Like you said, going into the money system, you know, I got an article that says Wall Street investor predicts largest market crash since 1929 is coming. We're going to read a little bit of the article. It said one of Wall Street's most bearish skeptics told Business Insider last month that he thinks the worst market crash since 1929 is coming. Chief investment officer, Universal Investment, is known for being a perma bear when it comes to stock market outlook. Let's skip down a little bit. He said, the U.S. economy is at it, according to the hedge and funds manager. That market predictions come true. You really don't want to have all of your eggs in one basket, because the basket could easily go up in flames. See, that's
a spirit.
Because this whole world's gonna go up in the flames. Not the whole world, but Babylon's gonna go up in the flames in a minute, man.
Yeah, and that's really the trick bag that Esau got our people in. People think they're doing something where they got stocks and bonds, money, debit. That's all your eggs in one basket, because it's tied to the financial system. So all that mug got to do is crash, and you see how useless all that stuff really is. But now you got people talking about buying gold and silver. Scriptures say gold and silver not going to deliver you in the day of the Lord's wrath. Why? Because that's going to go up in flames too.
All right, and the first precept I got is Isaiah 24:10. And it says, the city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up that no man may come in. And that's the point. You know, the first part I said, the city of confusion is broken down. You know, and how's it broken down? It's broken down through the financial system, as we just seen, you know, with the stock market crashing. You know, a couple of weeks ago, like I said, Russia pulled out 440 million out of the U.S. largest bank, J.P. Morgan. Okay. Yep, and then every bank that was branched onto J.P. Morgan, a lot of them had closed down. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, stock market crashing, the agricultural system. You know, you got
Russia.
Yep.
They showed the black icons.
Mm-hmm.
That's contributed to the city of confusion being broken down. Because after that, you had a bunch of Edomites making confessional videos that we are the true Hebrews. And on the other hand, you had a bunch of Edomites showing they hate
Burning
for the
Bible.
truth.
Burning the Bible and whatnot.
Yep, speaking against us as a people that we couldn't possibly be the people, burning the Bible. Now you got these new anti-Semitic laws. Now they want to ban the New Testament. The Lord breaking this place down. Also, society is being broken down. Like we see all the recent pro-Palestinian protests. At University of Michigan, I was watching this morning. They interrupted graduation.
Oh wow.
Full stadium for the graduation. They came marching on in.
What's that? Upwards of the people.
Yep. Earthquakes. Houston flooded, parts of it. Dubai flooded, parts of Africa flooded.
Just
Brazil.
That too. Yep. And just here in April, there's an article saying that it was 300 tornadoes in the month of April of this year, man. Most in second most, I think, in record history, or first most in history, I believe it said.
Oh yeah, and also cybersecurity. Everything being hacked, water facilities, banks, internet, phone service, pharmacies. Everything is being hacked. The Lord is picking this place apart. And in the city of confusion, again, being America, the place where there is no light, where they call good evil, they call evil good, a place of no order. You know, everything is a big gray area. Like, for example, Mysteries of the Kingdom, I always say this. You don't know if it's a dyke or a 12-year-old white boy.
Right.
You know, it's flat-chested, no curves, but it got long hair,
Right.
and it's feminine.
Yeah.
And then, you know, in America, it's starting to become a thing where there's no difference between a man and a woman. There's no difference between children and parents. You know, no difference between people and animals. So yeah, this that city of confusion being broken down. Matter of fact, I think it's Zephaniah 3:19.
So the precept Zephaniah 3:19.
Yeah.
Zephaniah 3:19, and it says, "Behold, at that time I will undo all that afflict thee, and I will save her that halted, and gather her that was driven out, and I will give them praise and fame in every land where they have been put to shame."
So the Lord said He's going to undo all that afflict thee. That's the city of confusion being broken down. The Lord is picking this place apart, one piece at a time. You know, cybersecurity, societal collapse, the truth, the financial system. And we're going to get into the last part of the lesson. We're going to get into the different pestilences that's beginning to show itself here in America. And the Lord will break this place down to do what? To give us fame in all the places where we was put to shame. And there wasn't nobody that was put to shame like us. So only we qualified for the fame to come. And that fame is going to begin with this word. Because we got the words that'll save your soul. You know, through the power of the Spirit, you have a bashing mouth shot of the Spirit. And that's what's going to contribute to our fame, us being preserved.
You can see already, they trying to ban the Bible, the New Testament in the Bible, or just ban the Bible in general. You know what I'm saying? Getting rid of the famine, like you said, famine on the road.
Yeah.
In a minute, we ain't even going to be out here too much longer.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to get, beat up on arrested just for preaching this truth.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, Lord, I'm doing this place.
Yeah. Again, I said the precept, we could go to Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 60 to 64 of the NLT, and it says, Jeremiah recorded on a scroll all the terrible disasters that will come upon Babylon. All the words that are written here, he said, Sariah, if I'm saying that right, Sariah, when you get to Babylon, read aloud everything on the scroll. Then say the Lord, you have said that you will destroy Babylon so that neither people nor animals will remain there. She will lie empty and abandoned forever. When you have finished reading the scroll, tie it to a stone and throw it into the Euphrates River. Then say, in this same way, Babylon and her people will sink, never again to rise, because of disasters I will bring upon her. Yeah, man. So all these, like we just said, the disasters, to find all the going to the financial aspect, the agriculture aspect, the famines, the diseases, all that stuff is tying into one big great disaster that Babylon is going to be destroyed, man.
And they said that Babylon was sinking. This place is sinking.
each day. It's like a drain hose going around that circle till it goes all the way down that hole, man.
Man, we was going to do this yesterday. You Jeremiah 51 still?
Yeah.
You get 8 and 9.
Con.
And how is this place ultimately going to sink? In the lake, in the sea. But it's going to be a lake of fire.
Con. Ready?
Now, it's something you're supposed to do when you obviously see that the boat is sinking. Well, we're going to get this right here.
Con. Jeremiah 51:8, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her? Take balm for her pain, if she so may be healed.
And we was going to see this yesterday. How for her? She is destroyed. Howling goes into what? It's a mourning, crying out for help. And that cry for help is an effort to fix this place up and bandage it up. Taking balm for her pain, that's like putting ointment on the wound. That goes into taking action to actually trying to fix this place up. Let's see the next one real quick.
Verse 9, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed.
Right, real quick. So if anybody was going to heal Babylon, it would have been the service of prophets. This ministry has been out for many years. Prophets all over America, but this place is not healed. Why? Because the place can't be healed. It ain't that the Lord can't, it's just that he ain't. And we're going to see why at the end of this verse.
Again, verse 9, we will have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go every one into his own country. For her judgment reaches unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies.
So yeah, her judgment, her iniquity, her wickedness has reached up into the heavens. And that's literal. Because them devils trying to colonize what they now call outer space, which should be the third heaven. Or hold on. Second, yeah. They trying to colonize outer space. They trying to take their nukes up there, weaponize it. They littering out there. They taking pisses and shits. You know what I'm saying? Just dumping it up there. So yeah, and it says what? She is not healed, so what? Forsake her. So you gotta abandon ship. Because why? Because this place is sinking. I think you might have said circle in the drain.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, forsake this place. Meaning what? Depart by detachment. Mentally.
Like we said, man, even with the food aspect, you know, they're attacking. What's the things that we eat the most? The chicken, the beef, dairy products.
Oh
You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
They're attacking all of these things that we eat.
Yeah. Chicken,
Walmart,
beef, and cheese and milk, all that.
Walmart just had a recall on 8 tons of ground beef, man. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I was missing. Yup.
Yep.
E. coli.
Yep, from that E. coli stuff. Also, too, I got another article. Salakia.
Hey, shalom to the brother Kalab. How about you, brother?
Shalom, it says over 80,000 pounds of deli meat have been recalled across multiple states due to lack of inspection, man. You know what I'm saying? So from the chicken to the beef to the dairy products and cheese and all that stuff, man, even the food is getting tampered with. You know what I'm saying? And all this stuff is just leading to that one big thing, which is the nukes hitting this place, getting this place up out of here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's the reason we bringing this stuff out. People gonna be like, what this got to do with the Bible? You know, why we not talking about this or that? Well, this is the build up to the nuclear destruction.
The beginning of sorrows.
Oh yeah.
You got something?
Yeah, we gonna grab this. Matter of fact, I'm gonna just text you this with my side right here.
Also, too, my bad. One more article. It says farmers warn that food aisles will soon be empty because of crushing conditions. And who knows it more than the farmers, the one who's producing the food?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So soon it's not gonna be the water's already getting tampered with. Trying to tamper with the water. You know what I'm saying? And the minute we gonna have no food in these storehouses, man, you know, as soon it's gonna be another pandemic.
Hey, yeah, when the food go empty, that's gonna contribute to this place being broken down. Why? Because that's gonna mess with the minds of the people. We all seen the Snickers commercial.
Yeah.
You're not you when you're hungry. And then, like you was talking about all the pro-Palestinian protests. You got pro-Palestinian protests, pro-LGBTQ protests, pro-Black Lives Matter, Antifa protests. It's a pro-something for everything here in America. You know, that's going to contribute to the Egyptian against Egyptian. I think I was going into it last week. There's going to come a time, the scriptures say friends going to fight like enemies. There ain't going to be no pro-Palestine, no pro-black this. It's going to be every man for himself. I think Hope says something like, it's going to be the haves versus the have-nots. Like, I don't got this, you got it, so I'm about to get it off you by any means necessary. That's what it's gonna come to. And that's why the city say, the scripture say, for their pride, the cities will be troubled. So yeah, I mean, it's a few things keeping this place together. It's the money, and the money, paper dollar, whether it's physical or something you see in your bank account digitally, the money is just a literal band-aid. That's the only reason people halfway get along. And really, that's really the only reason why, even us in the ministry, that we gotta move a certain way. Because you gotta take care of families and stuff. I can't just go cussing out and slapping everybody at the job like I want. Because the money system is a band-aid. So you pull that band-aid off, hey, people gonna start to lose any sort of restraint that they got. And then too, the food. Pull the money system back, that's gonna be horrific. You take that food back, people gonna literally turn, Joker in the Dark Knight, he said something like people will eat each other. That's literal. And metaphorical. That I used to watch National Geographic Channel, and they would study how the brain would change under starvation, and certain parts of the brain would deactivate, like parts of the brain that goes into reasoning and morals, and having any sort of restraint, those will shut down, and other parts of the brain will become more active. Parts of the brain that leads to pretty much you being a carnivore. Like they say, under enough starvation, the human brain functions more like the brain of a reptile. You know, reptiles, they even eat themselves, like their children. So that's going to show when the people eat each other, like the scripture's going to say. Going to literally be like animals. Oh, yeah. Let's start off with that Isaiah 47, 12. All right, you're going to go jump into the precept real quick, because I got a handful of articles going into the pestilences, just giving up on them. Because that's because even in this society, the different pestilence, cancer, high blood pressure is referred to as a silent killer. You know what? You would straight up ignore diseases and viruses until it's too late. And we see the sword, the wars, the uproars of the people. We see that sweeping across the earth. But at the same time, you got these pestilences that's sweeping across the earth too. That's not getting enough recognition. It's gonna go unrecognized until people literally, got blood shooting out their eyes. And people actually dying, 1 out of every 3 or 4 people.
First precept, Isaiah 47 and 12. Stand now with thine enchantments, and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be thou shalt be prophet, if so be thou mayest prevail. That's the right one, right?
Yep. So yeah, it says stand with thy enchantments and with thy sorceries, if so thou may be able to prevail. And that's what Esau is standing on here in the last days. He's going to stand on it more heavy than he's ever done before. So what? That he may prevail. That he may prevail against what? Prevail against prophecy. To prevail against the Lord himself. And it says, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. And the youth goes into what? Esau coming back into power. Going back to the late 1400s. Matter of fact, let me look at this. Literal birth of a child from a woman. It's talking about the birth of a nation. So as soon as Esau came back into power in the Renaissance period, what did he do? Leonardo went painting over all the ancient prophets, angels, messiahs, anything that was spiritual and considered holy that had brown to black skin on it. They painted over on white. Oh yeah, blowing the noses off the statues, off the sphinx. Those would be their enchantments. And then even Christianity, that's an enchantment. The rap music is an enchantment. You say something long enough, it becomes hardwired into your brain. You say something long enough, subconsciously, or hear it long enough, you internalize it, it becomes part of you. And then they sorceries. In the Blue Letter Bible, believe in Revelation, that word sorceries goes into the Greek word would be pharmakia. Pharmakia is where they get the word pharmacy. When we read down on it, it speaks about medication, administering of drugs, poisoning. So Esau, as soon as he came into power speaking lies. As soon as they be born, coming into power, birth of the nation, but also with their sorceries. That ranges, because we had the bubonic plague that broke us apart, tore us apart towards the end of the Dark Ages. That's how Esau was able to overcome us. They would make catapults with bubonic plague corpses, bodies with the disease, and they would catapult it, and the bodies would explode, bust, blood and guts everywhere, further infecting our people. And then when they came over to America, smallpox blankets, yellow fever blankets, what they do over there in Africa, engineer HIV and AIDS to destroy the black race, so-called black race.
Yeah, so too, going back to the pharmaceuticals and stuff, even when they give you that medicine and stuff they give you, that put more demons on you, because if you read it, it says, watch side effects. It may cause depression, may cause anxiety.
Might cause schizophrenia.
Dizziness,
It was schizophrenia.
Right,
Last I checked, I thought it'll have you looking at everybody crazy, ready to kill them.
Right.
Side effects, it turns you into a killer, pretty much. Side effects, you become bugged out. Side effects, they put demons on you, in other words. And even that's enchantments. They got to give it a new medical name. What's the ones you just said? Depression, what's the other one? Anxiety, that's crazy. So yeah, Esau has always labored from the days of his youth, since they came to power, with enchantments and sorceries. Well, guess what? That's how he came into power, and that's what he's gonna stand on to stay in power. Because that's what they had in 2020, Juvenile and Manny Fresh. VAX that thing up. That's an enchantment. You literally putting a spell on the people. Now there's no, back then there was somebody riding up and down the block, banging that song. And then they tied it into to the dating culture. Like, beat that thing up so you can be safe in dating, Yeah, that whole scamdemic, the hokey pokey, those are enchantments and sorceries. Well, guess what? They about to amp up those enchantments and sorceries that he may prevail. Ultimately, by microchipping everybody, which you already know how that's gonna play out. Let's get I think 10 on that.
Isaiah 47 and 10?
Yeah.
Yep, you're right. Now we're still at the book of Isaiah, chapter 47 and 10. And it says, "For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Thou hast said, none see me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it has perverted thee. And thou hast said in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me."
So yeah, Esau trusted in his wickedness from the days of his youth, his enchantments and his sorceries. And that's what he's gonna have to rely on here at the end. Like when the cat backed into a corner, it's gonna resort to his best attributes. Esau, ultimately, being his enchantments and sorceries, he the soul. And it says like wisdom and knowledge they have perverted it. Yeah, they so puffed up in pride that they think they can actually prevail against prophecy. They think they're gonna actually prevail against Yahweh Shah and the holy angels that they return. Like, I think the brother Hope said it, many other brothers have said it, too much honey will make you sick. Honey being his word. That's why you see a lot of brothers, they got so built up with wisdom and understanding, they got sick from it. Now they going off, they think they done figured out something new concerning the word this late in the game.
Right.
So now the whole nation throughout all the earth got to relearn what you done found out yesterday.
Right.
May 4th. Or, you know. But yeah. But yeah, that's what Esau's going to trust, that the knowledge perverted. You know, yeah, the knowledge really made him sick with his wickedness. Took his wickedness to a whole nother level. You'll never use his knowledge for good. So what good could he be doing to the people here in the last days? Why are people still trusting him? Isaiah 10 and 20 say those who escape. Let's get that real quick. Isaiah 10 and 20.
Come. Isaiah chapter 10, verse 20. And it says, and it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel, and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob, shall no more again stay upon him that smote them, but shall stay upon the Lord, the Holy One of Israel, in truth.
Got the NLT on that too?
Yep.
So yeah, it said that the remnant of the house of Israel, Jacob, the remnant would be those who escaped, who are going to receive salvation, would no more stay upon him that smote him. You know what? They would no more trust in their oppressors.
Yep.
Trust in their oppressors and in this wickedness. Because people say you can't trust the white man, but you still believe in the U.S. dollar. You don't trust in the white man, but you're still relying on his dollar, everything that the doctor tell you, etc. Well, you trusting in your oppressor. Let's take this on the NLT real quick.
Isaiah chapter 10, verse 20, NLT. In that day, the remnant left in Israel, the survivors in the house of Jacob, will no longer depend on allies who seek to destroy them, but they will faithfully trust the Lord, the Holy One of Israel.
I see those who actually escape this place, receive that salvation, and all the blessings, they gonna no more depend on people who play to be your ally, who play to have your best interests in mind, but secretly they destroy you. Like you're saying with the medicine, you can take this, but it may cause this. Well, all right, I'm gonna put up this little couple articles real quick, and again, gonna hit some precepts. This is mainly just an update, different pestilences, city of confusion being broken down, which we started with, which number 5. And brothers have seen these on the end time headline. So the first article: monkeypox case spike in New York City, averaging dozens of cases a month.
Yeah.
And I believe that's where the COV kind of started at too. You know, you began to see it in New York, because New York have all kind of international trade and flights. People all over the world go there. All right, the number of cases of monkeypox has spiked in the Big Apple since October. The city Department of Health and Mental Hygiene warned with a high of 51 cases in January. Since October, the city has averaged 36 cases per month, an increase from 2 to 20 cases per month for most of 2023. Of the 256 cases from October through April 15th, most were mild, with only 10 people requiring hospitalization. The bulk of those who fell ill were so-called Black or Hispanic, ages 25 through 44. The men who have sex with men. And but minus that part, we see some similarities that mirrors the time of the pandemic in New York. First, it popped off in New York first, for the most part. And then what did they say? That the COV is affecting the so-called Black and Hispanic communities. Therefore, they got to get the hokey pokey first. So now we saying even again that it's mostly so-called Blacks and Hispanics that's getting the monkeypox. So if you follow Esau's playbook, you can speculate that he will come up with a hokey pokey, a VAX for the monkeypox, which he would try to push on our communities first.
Look how degrading that is, monkeypox.
Oh, see?
What they used to call monkeys back in the day, right?
See, yeah, enchantments.
Bullshit.
Contaminants.
Out of all the damn names, they came up with monkeypox.
Hey, for real though.
Thanks.
For real. That's it that
First precept.
yeah.
First precept of the article, Deuteronomy 28:37. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whether the Lord shall lead thee.
So Israel will become a proverb, a byword, and an astonishment. A byword will be names such as African American, niggas, big Indian, monkeys, whatever else they call us. Everything except what the Lord called us. A proverb would be a saying that appears to be true. Like how they say all black men are drug dealers. That would appear to be true, but it ain't the case. Black so-called blacks don't grow up with their fathers. A lot of times that's true, but that ain't the case for 100% of the time. And then the book of Habakkuk chapter 2 speaks about woe to him who give his neighbor drink to look upon his nakedness. And that nakedness and an astonishment would be Israel being made a spectacle to the world. You know, a gazing stock and a laughing stock. How they ride on tour buses through the hood like we animals. And even so here, this shows that, you know, they said pretty much that we the face of monkeypox. With at least those of our people who land with, those of our men who land with other men. According to these devils, we used to face of the COV back in 2020. Also, according to these devils, we used to face of HIV and AIDS. That's Israel being a proverb, a byword, and an astonishment. You know, any problem in the world, they're gonna paint Israel to be the face of it.
It's our fault.
Yeah. Somehow.
Blame everybody but their own damn self.
But when we really understand, look into it, as I was thinking, they, you know, all these different problems, you know, they make us the focus of it. A precept came into mind when I was thinking about this. Let's sit down real quick.
1 Peter 4:17. For the time has come that judgment must begin at the house of God. And if it first began at us, where shall be the end of them that obey not the gospel of God?
The house of God being the people of Israel. So judgment gonna begin with at us first. So like I said, we used to face the HIV/AIDS. We the face of the COV. We the face of monkeypox. And according to these Edomites now, we the face or the biggest threat to the Israelis. Remember that? So we the face of all these different problems, ranging from the pestilences to the chaos over there in Israel right now. You know what I'm saying? But them painting us the face for all these different problems, really showing that they got their eye set on us. Let me look at this up real quick. And why do they you get Psalm 64, we're gonna start at 2, but we're gonna end at 3. So the reason they make us the face of all these different problems is, again, they got that eye set on us, so they gotta make us to be an enemy. So that what they can play the hero. And pretty much in their heroism, they're gonna pretty much have to eradicate Israel. Because if you ask them, once they eradicate Israel, that eliminate the COV, that eliminate HIV and AIDS, that would eliminate all these other pestilences that they say come from us. And apparently eliminating us will solve and bring peace to the land of Israel, seeing that the young African American population is the biggest threat to the Israelis. But let's get that real quick.
All right. Psalms chapter 64, verse 2 and 3. Hide me from thy secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity.
And we know who the wicked is, Malachi 1:4, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. Hide us from their secret counsel. You know, everything that they plan and imagine, they're going to use against us.
Verse 3. Who whet their tongue like a sword, and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words.
See, whet their tongue like a sword, shoot their arrows, you know, bitter words being an arrow. So they use these words and terminology to target a certain people and make them an enemy. But yeah, ultimately that's because judge for being at us. Was it another one on that?
Ezekiel 5:11-12.
Okay. Let's grab it.
All right. Now at the book of Ezekiel chapter 5, 11 and 12. Wherefore as I live, saith the Lord God, surely because thou hast defiled my sanctuary with all thy detestable things, and with all thine abominations, therefore will I also diminish thee. Neither shall my eye spare, neither shall I have any pity.
So yeah, the Lord's going to diminish us. That's just the beginning with the house of Israel. Why? Because we defiled his sanctuary. And listen to the brother True Jew did a beautiful lesson. You know, when it speaks about in the book of Maccabees that the Greeks polluted the sanctuary and the holy people, we had already polluted ourselves. So the Lord, you know, just had somebody else do it better. You know, we was already defiled and messed up. You know, he just had somebody finish the job. We already started polluting and defiling ourselves in the temple. Yeah, Esau, you know, closed the casket on us. But, you know, the Lord says he's going to diminish us, and he's not going to spare not have pity. That'll be on the 2/3 of our people who receive not the love of the truth, that they may be saved. And shalom to the sister Pam, Yahweh Bashi God. And that's what's beautiful about this word. Something as simple as just having this understanding is what's going to cover us through all these different disasters that you was talking about. That's going to come on Babylon. Yeah.
Still at Ezekiel chapter 5, now we have verse 12. And the third part of thee shall die in the pestilence, and with the famine shall they be consumed in the midst of thee. And a third part shall fall by the sword around about thee. And I will scatter a third part into all the winds, and I will draw our sword after them.
So we know 2/3 of the people going to be cut off in this land. When you read Zechariah 13, 8 and 9. But we're going to read this again in the NLT. Amongst the 2/3 of our people that's going to get cut off, 1/3 of the 2/3 going to die by famine and pestilence. That's a lot of death, because Israel is as the sand of the sea. And then 1/3 of the 2/3, they're going to die in the cities, you know, roundabout. And the remainder of the 2/3, in that last 1/3, they're going to die by the sword that the Lord sent after them, ranging from killer drones to the teeth of wild beasts to unknown creatures newly created, full of rage, shooting horrible sparkles. Man, breathe the smoke out of their nose to the nuclear missiles. You that the NLT?
Yep. Ezekiel chapter 5, verse 12, NLT. A third part of your people will die in the city from disease and famine. A third of them will be slaughtered by the enemy outside the city walls. And I will scatter a third to the winds, chasing them with my sword.
So, yeah, you know, we obviously see that the sword in the destruction is drawing nigh. But in the same precept, it's mentioned famine and pestilence. And I think people so caught up on the sword in the destruction that's obviously drawing nigh, you know, they gonna forget the famine and the pestilence. You know, mainly being those that's outside of this spiritual gathering. So the pestilence and the famine is gonna kill 1/3 of the 2/3. But how much more the other nations? So the famine and the pestilence about to tear this place up, and not only America, it's gonna be worldwide. Because really, the city of confusion, you know, America will be that 8th head of the beast. This is the headquarters of the city of confusion. Its headquarters being America. But really, city of confusion, America's influence extends all across the earth. So this whole place got to be broken down. All right, we're going to get this next article. Go into some more pestilence. All right, and the title reads, reports of bird flu continue to spread across America.
Shut this bitch down.
Man, ASAP. Shoot.
Ready for that.
Man, hey, yeah.
Every time I see somebody, I'm like, Lord, please. Like, hurry up.
Man, hey, when this mother do shut down, I believe and I still hope Texas shut down first. Because I hear shut down, I hear no more paying rent, no more going to work. That's all I hear. Oh, that's because again, how we started off. The days come that he would break the bonds off our necks and burst the yokes that our enemies will no more serve themselves of us. So we look forward to the lockdown.
Yeah.
It is that much, pretty much when the dollar collapses, that's the equivalent of the handcuffs and the yokes of iron being broken off of us. Only thing left to do is to physically take us out of here, which we're not going to leave here physically, but spiritually. You know, spirit's going to leave these bodies to leave America. All right, so we're going to get this about the bird flu spreading across America. A polar bear in the Arctic, red foxes in Europe, penguins in Antarctica, and a wide range of other wild animals have been infected with the bird flu, which is currently spreading in dairy cattle in the U.S. See, right there, them enchantments. Because who told this nigga Esau to go test a polar bear in the Arctic? Who told him to go test some penguins? How would you even know to test some penguins? Or red foxes in Europe? That's an enchantment.
They're doing spreading all around the globe.
And see, see, he didn't just test it, they tested positive. If they actually did test positive and actually do got the bird flu, because Esau gave it to him. So gave it to him and then tested it. That's enchantments. Well, let me go back here real quick. I'm gonna get this word enchantments. Blue letter Bible. Because remember, stand with thine enchantments. And as we read down, it reads association, company, a magician, a charmer, a spell. And we know spells goes into written words that you may read. You reading these different articles. You reading Esau's reports. Or spells could be in words that you hear. Somebody put a spell on it. That you hear in his music, his news, his media, which that word media is plural for the word medium, which medium goes into strange spirits. So when you say news media, media is literally plural of strange spirits. And if somebody can correct me on that, better word, let me know. But that's enchantments. Words that you read or words that are spoken that you hear. And just us reading this, we're not blind, we're not under Esau's spell. So we can see the BS in it. But it's other people that'll read this article and probably start freaking out. Like, man, the bird flu coming. We're going to have to get the hokey pokey for that too.
Was that scripture, we are not ignorant to Satan's devices?
Oh yeah, not at all. And that's what Esau used back in 2020 to spread fear. Every time somebody died, it was for the COV. A woman died giving birth, it was the COV. A man died in an accident, it was the COV. And then also too, in 2020, let me see, we'll get there in a minute. But yeah, enchantments goes to a magician or a spell. Esau is the top magician on the left-hand side. And we will be magicians on the right-hand side, for the side of righteousness. Because even this Bible, this is a spell book. But don't take that the wrong way. It's not a spell book that of idol worship and dealing with strange spirits. You're dealing with the father of spirits. Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah as commanded. Let's get some more of this. Up to 75% of new and emerging infectious diseases in people come from animals. And most of those can be traced back to wildlife. Monitoring wild animals for diseases can help scientists, which are they magicians, identify emerging health threats. Government agencies, and when we got that word enchantment, what it came up? Company. So government agencies, these different companies, these magicians in the U.S. and worldwide monitor wild birds for avian influenza, which spread the bird populations without causing symptoms, and select animals of the pathogens. And that was the thing too. They say these animals test positive, but they show no symptoms. Sound to me, they ain't got the bird flu. Because remember, that was the thing in 2020. You could have the COV, but they call it asymptomatic. Meaning you got the COV, you just don't got no symptoms for it. and that was determined by you testing positive. Well, it seemed like we forgot everything that we learned coming in because what it sounded like to me, if you say these animals testing positive for the bird flu, no symptoms. People tested positive for the COV, but they had no symptoms. What is that known as in the medical field, or really anywhere? That's known as a false positive. Now we're gonna get this definition. A false positive, a test result which incorrectly indicates that a particular condition or attribute is present. So we got false positives all over the place, and Esau take that data and publish it like it's actual data. But it's a bunch of false positives. Like a pregnancy test. It might say positive, but the girl not pregnant. That's a false positive. Esau doing hella enchantments and tricking the people with that. We've seen all kind of videos. Somebody tested a goat for COV, sent that to the testing facility. The goat came back positive for the COV. Somebody tested a papaya for the COV, sent it to the testing facility, and it came back positive for the COV. Somebody took the water that drop out their exhaust pipes on their car and sent it to the testing facility, and that tested positive for the COV. That's Esau spreading fear. All right, so yeah, Esau is standing in his enchantments and sorceries harder than ever. You know, since the days of his youth. Let's get that precept.
Ezekiel chapter 25, verse 13. Therefore thus saith the Lord God, I will also stretch out my hand upon Edom, and will cut off man and beast from it, and I will make it desolate from Temain, and they of Dedan shall fall by the sword.
So the Lord will stretch out his hand and cut off man and beast from Edom. Well, it was the one statement in the article that now these pestilences is spreading from animals to humans. So human and animals alike getting sick from the same thing, supposedly. That's the Lord cutting off man and beast from Edom. All right, so let me see. So we're gonna get this next one. Photos of Texas farmer worker who caught bird flu shows bleeding in the eyeballs. Which that really sounds like something else that we're gonna get into. All right, it is thought to be the first known case of mammal to human transmission. It comes as CDC and prevention warned the bird flu. Let me get this next little statement. The dairy worker attended a hospital in March after experiencing painful red, weeping eyes with burst blood vessels. So they said they tested the eyeball area of this person that's bleeding from their eyes, and it tested positive for the bird flu. Which sounds like probably another false positive, but you can pretty much test anything that's gonna come back positive.
Probably pink eyes.
Yeah, we got some right here. Let me get this next article. Matter of fact, let's read that
Ezekiel 7:15.
Matter of fact, let me get this real quick. While it's still on our short-term memory. So we're gonna get what can actually cause bleeding from the eyes. Which is stuff, different plagues that's showing itself. So there's a class of sicknesses known as viral hemorrhagic fevers. Hemorrhagic is a word that describes internal bleeding. So let's read some of this. Viral hemorrhagic fevers are infectious diseases that can cause severe life-threatening illnesses that can damage the walls of tiny blood vessels, making them leak, and can hamper the blood's ability to clot. So the blood vessel walls be damaged, so you leak out. The blood don't thicken and clot up at the site of the injury, so you just continue to leak, from everywhere. The resulting internal bleeding is usually not life-threatening, but the disease can be. And it says some viral hemorrhagic fevers include Ebola, which they started spreading in Africa, which we see that on the rise. Yellow fever, and it says the Marburg, Last time I said that, I got the channel struck with a strike with the Marburg disease. You know, they say that could be the next pandemic, which is highly infectious and got a high kill rate. These diseases most commonly occur in tropical areas. In the U.S., people who get them usually have traveled to one of those areas. What am I looking for? Symptoms. Signs and symptoms of viral hemorrhagic fever vary by disease. In general, early warning signs and symptoms can include fever, fatigue, weaknesses, dizziness, body aches, symptoms that can become life-threatening. More severe symptoms includes bleeding under the skin, internal organs, bleeding from the mouth, bleeding from the eyes, or bleeding from the ears. Also kidney failure, liver failure, respiratory failure, a coma. So yeah, they say this woman had bird flu in her eyes, but it sounds like she got a hemorrhagic fever. Now they always misdiagnose people, you know, for their own agenda. So, hey, let's hear something come out of this as more people start bleeding from their eyes. If so, it ain't the bird flu, it's a hemorrhagic fever. Oh yeah, straight up. Hey, Shalom, Sticon. You know my center, right? It's STYCON. Hey, Shalom, how about you? Shalom, like it's loud. Probably just a viewer. Bro, the enchantments.
Damn, like straight, like you said, you can't tell if a man or a woman now.
Yeah, that's right. Shit. Yeah, you can't tell. It might be a 30-year-old dyke or a 12-year-old white boy, or it might be a feminine, chubby black dude or a hefty black stud.
Right.
You don't know what's what.
It's crazy.
Yeah, let's grab that. So yeah, we're gonna see more instances of this different hemorrhagic illnesses where people got internal bleeding, which I really don't believe this woman got bird flu right now. They're on the bird flu spree. You know, everybody got it.
Second precept, Ezekiel 7:15. The sword is without, and the pestilence and famine within. He that is in the field shall die with the sword. He that is in the city, famine and pestilence shall devour him.
Yep. Famine and pestilence will devour. Devour goes until you be consumed, destroyed. You know, there's a story a while back, somebody ate some tilapia or something, and her arms and legs started rotting away. She had to get all 4 of her limbs amputated. You know, even the E. coli that was found in the ground beef. You know, different pestilences that devour you from the inside out. With hemorrhagic fever, that devours the walls of the blood vessels, making them thinner. Also takes away the body's ability for the blood to thicken and clot. So yeah, people gonna be devoured literally by pestilences, eaten alive, which they already got brain-eating amoeba, amoebae, however you say it, flesh-eating bacteria in certain parts of the world, etc. All right, so I'm pushing an hour, so we're gonna hit this last article, and it's gonna tie it all together. Because you know, I've been scrolling past and looking at it. I'm like, let me read this, because you never know what this nigga he's saying. You need article, and that's the thing. There's some articles I'm like, I don't think it's too much in there. Man, read the articles. You're gonna be surprised what you find in it. But it's gonna tie it all together. You know, Esau standing on his enchantments. So this is the title of the article. First human trial for cancer, VAX underway. So they got a hokey pokey that's supposed to fight cancer. The question is, why is there cancer in the first place? But let's read some of this. And then this goes to our first article. They said monkeypox outbreak beginning in New York amongst so-called blacks and Hispanics, sounding very similar to the pandemic back then. But check this out. Let's see if we see some similarities. That's funny. Hold on. And it mentioned it too, that's the spirit, okay. A study shows that new mRNA cancer medicine can reprogram the immune system to attack tumors within 48 hours. See, red flag right there. We heard this word mRNA, VAC before. And what other VAX use mRNA to carry out its effects in the body? Well, we're gonna remind the viewers in a minute. The first ever human clinical trial of 4 adult patients showed that the jab helps fight aggressive and deadly brain tumors. Oh damn, I couldn't say that on the few minutes back. Yeah, so word JAB. We see this word is in the article that's talking about VACCINESs that fight cancer. And we see the word jab right there, and we see the word mRNA right there. All right, so I'm gonna jump to this other one real quick. So I did a little Google search on how the COV-VAX work. And again, I'm gonna just briefly read the first statement of this article.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, nah.
You all right today?
Oh yeah, it's all good. Late start the day, but hey, better late than never.
My son in quick treat went to jail.
Oh man.
I tell you when I come back.
Oh, bet. Oh yeah. I'm gonna read this article. Okay, again, first human trials for cancer VAX underway. The first statement says a study shows that the new mRNA cancer VAX can reprogram the immune system to attack tumors within 48 hours. So, key word mRNA. So we're gonna show this on the screen. That word mRNA, that was pretty much how they built the VAX for the COV. So this reads how mRNA COV VAX work, which the hokey pokey for the COV was built through what they call mRNA technology. They can inject, let me see, how can I say this? That they inject spike proteins into the body and the spike proteins, contain fragments of mRNA for the body to generate, certain cells that would pretty much build to make an immune response. But we see they use mRNA technology to make the VAX for the COV, but they're using that same mRNA technology to make a new VAX now for cancer. So Esau standing on them enchantments and sorceries, since the days of his youth. And everything he used in 2020, you're gonna use that for 10 times harder. Now, and to prove that I'm trying to connect these cancer VAXs to the jab in 2020, this article for the cancer VAX actually mentions the jab from 2020. And as we go down, we read mRNA VAXs like etc. COV, GABS became widespread during the pandemic, and researchers are now redeploying the technology to treat other diseases. So the same technology they used to develop the VAX for the COV back in 2020, 2021, it says they are redeploying that technology to treat other diseases. Redeploying, they always use some crazy word. Redeploying, pretty much, he's going to reuse that same blueprint and apply that to other sicknesses and diseases, in this case being cancer. And so they're going, and what Esau say that, I forgot that 1 to 4 people will die of cancer and in the very near future. So, people going to be running to get the VAX for cancer, thinking it's something different, and it's literally the same mRNA VAX that they use in 2020. It's the same. You getting the same thing. You know, people. It's gonna be people. I can see it now. I didn't get that hokey pokey in 2020, but I'm gonna go get this VAX for cancer. It's the same thing you get. Yeah, you getting the exact same thing. Let's get the remaining precepts. We're gonna get his last precept. We're gonna close out.
Isaiah 47, 1 through 14. Isaiah chapter 47, 9 through 14. Verse 9. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment in one day, the loss of children and the widowhood. There shall come upon thee in their perfection for the multitude of thy sorceries and for thy great abundance of thine enchantments.
So yeah, for that Esau sorceries and enchantments that he's labored from the days of his youth, since the rebirth of their nation. Esau about to be wiped out for that. He's going to stand on sorceries and enchantments much harder now, because he's trying to prevail against prophecy, against what's written. But here it says he's going to have loss of children.
Verse 10. But thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee. And thou hast said in thy heart, I am and none else beside me.
So Esau has always trusted in his wickedness. That's his number one attribute.
Verse 11. Therefore shall evil come upon thee. Thou shalt not know from whence it riseth. Its mischief shall fall upon thee. Thou shalt not be able to put it off. And desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know.
So yeah, you see that the evil will come upon Esau suddenly. You're not going to know where it comes from. So how can you prepare for it? Because that's what Esau trying to do, what you was going to do yesterday. Except the Lord keep us sitting. The people who watch, they watch in vain. They labor in vain. You can't protect yourself from an invisible enemy. And that Yahweh Shem Yahushua is that invisible enemy to Esau Edom. You can't fight what you can't see. Even when the holy angels in Yahushua do show themselves, you can't fight what you can't hit. Yeah, because Esau can't touch the cherubs.
Verse 12. Stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth, if so be thou shalt be able to profit, if so thou mayest prevail.
So yeah, Esau is trying to profit. You know, he's trying to come up. But you know, the more he relies on this sorceries and enchantments, the lower and lower he's going to sink. Which the top enchantment, sorcery, is going to be the RFID microchip, which is the mark of the beast. So all these tactics and devices that he used for all these different agendas, he's going to use all of that to mandate the RFID microchip.
Verse 13. Thou art weary in the multitude of thy counsels.
So real quick, they weary in the multitude of their counsels, because they got to come up with a new plan every other day. And then as soon as it come out, you got a whistleblower exposed to something. You know, Satan should cast out Satan. Edomites who got the inside scoop on something that leaked the information to the world. And then I think 2 Kings 6, when they told a certain king, I think it was Elisha. Elisha was telling the king of Israel, bro, for real. Where a certain enemy of Israel told their king that Elisha was telling the king of Israel with the enemy speaking a bedchambers. So, because this book, it's a heavy book. You know, this is the first psychology book. You know, this book includes the study of personality and personality types. One of them being the wicked. So once we got the blueprint on the wicked, we can project with great accuracy what this devil gonna do next, as if we actually in these secret councils with him. I forgot what point I was making. Oh, they vary in the multitude of their councils, so they got to come up with a new plan every other day, and before they even act on it, it's already leaked. So these devils, we see Sloppy Joe lately. That's why Obama, I I think at the beginning of his presidency, he had all black hair. At the end of it, it was all gray.
We're stressed out.
Yeah, then you can see that they be stressed out.
Yeah.
That's them being weary in the multitude of their councils. You know, they meet more than they do anything else. You know, they really scratching their heads. New brothers teaching all over the place. All right, that's it.
Now stand with thine enchantment. Verse 13 again. Thou art weary in thy multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, and the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. Behold, they shall be as stubble, the fire shall burn them, they shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. There shall not be a coal to warm at, nor fire to sit before it.
So yeah, you know, at the end of the day, they're gonna burn and pass away with stubble. And that being a nuclear destruction. So they're not gonna build, they're not gonna profit themselves, save themselves, no matter how much of these enchantments and sorceries they stand on.
Now we have the book of Now we have the book of Exodus 22 and 18. Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live.
You shouldn't suffer a witch to live. And you see the movies, how do you gotta kill a witch? You gotta burn it alive. So that's what the Lord about to do to the top witch in the earth, being Esau, the white man. And that's why you got the phrase, a witch doctor. Your doctor is really a witch. They mixing up all them chemicals and powders and putting it in the capsule. What you think they're doing at the pharmacy? They're getting all kind of chemicals. They might not be, instead of a witch wearing a hat and a black coat, they got on the face mask and a lab coat, mixing up that stuff. Strands of DNA, baby fetal tissue, harmful chemicals and toxins, formaldehyde, and giving it to you, and giving it to the people. So yeah, the witch about to have her day. Yeah.
Next one is Jeremiah 30:17. For I will restore health unto thee, and I will heal thee of thy wounds, saith the Lord. Because they have called thee an outcast, saying, This is Zion, where no man seeketh after.
The Lord will heal us. Heal us of all this affliction. Heal us with this, and this healing is through the word. You know, we destroyed for lack of knowledge. We have this knowledge restored to us. So the Lord is healing us mentally and spiritually. And, hey, there's cases brothers been healed physically. I was one of them. But ultimately, that healing goes into something deeper. Because, you know, the body itself is a sickness. The chains of darkness. You know, it dies. So let's get that next one.
All right. Last precept, Malachi 4:2. But unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings, and he shall go forth and grow up as calves of the stall.
So the Lord gonna come with healing in his wings. The wings represent flight. We know the Lord gonna come here. It's gonna be an aerial invasion. They're gonna come from the clouds, from the heavens, being what the world calls UFOs. But them UFOs is gonna bring healing to the elect, those who fear his name and fully persuaded in their mind. That the testimony of Yahweh and that healing ultimately goes into us being pulled out of these corruptible bodies to put on incorruption and mortality. So yeah, the Lord will keep us in health. He'll heal us as needed, but the ultimate healing is going to come at his return. When we translate it in the blink of an eye. Yeah, that's it for today. We're going to face it, close out. Call Allah Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakakadash. All right, so